Dobar dan, dobar dan. Kako si, brate? I enjoyed my time a lot in French. It was like the two perfect steps for me coming out of college. You know, I was really young and Obradovic wanted me. You can't even hear yourself think when you play. It's you know, I get goosebumps thinking about, you know, coming here to play because the fans are on
Dobar dan poštovani gledalci, dobrodošli u 28. epizodi SwishCasta. Moj današnji gost je bivši košarkaš Valencije, sadašnji član košarkaškog kluba Alba Berlin, Martina Hermannssona. Martin, first of all, how are you?
Dobar dan, dobar dan. Kako si, brate? Yeah, I'm good, feeling good. Game tonight and a lot of excitement.
First, I want to hear your life story.
Oh wow. Yeah, so I'm from Iceland. Grew up in Reykjavik. Tried pretty much every sport possible. Not many people that know that, but I always wanted to be a professional soccer player. I was more into soccer than basketball. And I practiced both until I was like 16 years old, and then I decided to go with the basketball route. And went from Iceland to college when I was 19. Was there for 2 years. Went from college to France for 2 years. France to Alba for 2 years. To Valencia for 3.5, and now I'm back in Berlin. So yeah, the time, you know, I've been living abroad for what, 10 years now, 10, 11 years, but the time has gone like this.
When did you realize you want to play basketball professionally?
I would say around 16 years old. I always knew I wanted to be a professional player, but I didn't know in basketball or soccer. But when I was 16, we won the Nordic Championship. So like we played against Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark. And we won the tournament under 16, and I was the best player, the MVP of the tournament. So I decided in that moment, like, okay, I'm gonna go with basketball. And from then on, there was no turning back.
Who was your idol when you were a kid?
I mean, there was a lot of players. Like, I didn't know anything about European basketball. I didn't watch EuroLeague. I didn't know any player, so my idol was a player called Jón Stefánsson, Icelandic player who played in Italy, played in Zenit, played in Malaga. So he was like the biggest star of the Icelandic basketball national team. So I you know, he was for sure one of my idols. My dad used to play basketball as well, so he was a big role model for me. And then in the NBA, I would probably say like Tony Parker, Gino Billy, like guys that maybe weren't the most athletic or like dunking the ball all the time, but were so good at finding ways to score and you know, being usually, for example, Tony Parker being the smaller guy and still always the guy who was, you know, you notice on the court. So I think Tony Parker was probably one of my biggest.
In which team you wanted to play as a kid?
I mean, I wanted to go to the NBA, you know, like I said, I didn't know anything about European basketball. It was not shown in Iceland, and basketball in Iceland when I was starting was popular, but not like it is now. The national team has been coming better and better every year, so the basketball is getting bigger in Iceland. But my dream team was the Lakers. That was, you know, that's what I wanted to. The team I wanted to play for the most.
I would like to talk about the beginning of your professional career.
Mm-hmm.
With only 19 years old, you were named as MVP of the playoff of Icelandic Championship, and you were in the starting 5, I think, in that season. Won 3 trophies in 5 years. What it meant to you to be on the high level as 19-year-old guy?
It was amazing, you know. Maybe I didn't realize in the moment like how big it was, you know. Being the MVP in Iceland, like you said, at 19, but I was the best young player at the same time. We won the league. I was the best player of the playoffs, the youngest ever. So, I mean, for me, it was like normal, like because I felt like I was the best, and like, okay, this is something that, you know, I felt like should happen. But now, like looking back, I think it's something really special. But I think what it gave me was a lot of confidence, and from then and on, like I always felt like I was, you know, the best player on the court when I played, which wasn't maybe the case because I was always skinny and small, and but I just had the mindset that I was the best guy on the court. Even when I went to college, when I went to France, to Berlin, like I always had that mindset, and I think that's why I got to this level, you know. But I think it would help. I started playing really young against grown-up men in Iceland. I was, I think, 16 years old when I started playing with the first team in Iceland. So I was 16 years old playing against, you know, full-grown men, and I think that really prepared me for my professional career at an early age.
I would like to talk about the period when you went from Champagne Ren to Alba Berlin, and to talk about Alba and how you felt back in that day.
It was amazing. I enjoyed my time a lot in France. It was like the two perfect steps for me coming out of college. You know, I was really young, and in both of those teams I was playing a lot, so I was able to make mistakes and grow as a player. And then when I came to Alba, I was, you know, in one of the best teams in Germany, and we had a lot of success, a lot of really good players. Those 2 years are by far probably my favorite years of my career so far, because we went to the finals, we won the league, we won the cup, we went to the Euro Cup finals. So it was just such a special group, and yeah, everything was just so flowing, so nice, and it's always more fun when you are winning. And that year, those 2 years, we were winning a lot, and of course, playing for Aito was the biggest basketball school of my life. You know, I thought I knew it all coming there, 23, 24 years old, but I learned more in those 2 years than probably in all of my career, just because of Aito, you know, and so yeah, that move to Alba was a huge move for me, but also a special one.
You won 5 straight basketball player in Ireland, and what it meant to you to be on that level of basketball, to be best player in the country.
It's special, you know. 5 years in a row also was not. I think there's one player who has done it before, the Jon Stefánsson I told you about, who played in Malaga, and I mean it's a big honor for sure, because especially now we have a lot of really great players playing in, you know, one player in Bilbao, we have one player in Marousi in Greece. So the basketball in Iceland is getting bigger, we're getting better players, but at the same time I'm pissed I haven't won it more often. You know, I tore my ACL, okay, and then I didn't win it, but like this year and last year I felt like I should have won it, you know. But I mean, it's a special, and that's something maybe after the career to look back on and be proud of. But right now, it's you know, you always want more.
What you can tell me about your national team?
It's you know, going to play for the national team is a big honor, and it's probably the most fun you can have as a basketball player, because you go in there, meeting all your friends, playing for your country. You're not getting paid to play, you know, so everybody who's there are playing for passion and for, you know, that's the face of Iceland. And some of my best friends are on the team. So for me, playing with the national team is the most fun games you can play, and we're getting better every year. If everything goes well in this window coming up, we qualify for the Eurobasket for the 3rd time. So, you know, we beat Italy in the last window, we beat Ukraine, we beat the Netherlands, we beat Georgia, so we in the last 2-3 years we've been winning like big basketball nations and showing that teams need to take us serious and hopefully we can grow even more.
In 2019, Serbian media informed us about you going to Red Star Belgrade, and is this true or?
This is true. There were some talks, and Obradovic wanted me, but at the same time I was looking at the options and the offer from. I was actually close to signing to Fenerbahce also that year after my second year in Alba. But the offer from Valencia that came, it was impossible to say no. So I chose to go that way. But you never know what can happen, But yeah, that was a possibility.
This summer you signed with Alba Berlin again. What Alba meant to you in your life?
Alba is like a family, My second son was born in Berlin, so Berlin will always have a special place in my heart, in my family's heart. The reason coming back was maybe I had a ACL surgery, and then 1 year later I had to do another surgery on the knee for the meniscus. So 2 surgeries in 2 years was difficult, and coming back to rhythm, and we had so many players in Valencia, so many great players, so it was hard to kind of finding rhythm again. And so we started looking at the options, me and my agent, and Alba wanted to sign me for, almost 3 years. And for me, it was also security for the family, but at the same time, I wanted to prove myself again at the EuroLeague level and show everybody that I can still be a good player at this level. So Alba has a really special place in my heart for sure, and I'm super happy to be back and trying to show every game that I'm still here. And we've been unlucky with injuries this season. A lot of injuries, a lot of 3 players leaving the team. So we haven't really had all the guys in even one practice all year. So it's kind of hard to build a rhythm with guys going out, guys coming in. But this is a special group, great group, and I'm positive for the upcoming games and for upcoming weeks.
How's life in Berlin?
It's Berlin is such an amazing city. It's so big, whatever you want to do, you can do. But after living 3.5 years in Valencia, it was kind of hard to go back to the cold, But Berlin is close to home. It takes about 3.5 hours to fly to Iceland. It's straight flight, so for me, it's like the perfect city to be living in. A lot of Icelandic people as well, and the Uber Arena is one of the best arenas in Europe, and food is great. Everything, I can't complain.
What fans in your league you like the most?
I think that's an easy question. Those 2 teams here in Belgrade are always, you can't even hear yourself think when you play. It's I get goosebumps thinking about, coming here to play, because the fans are on a different level. Their passion for basketball is amazing. They live for basketball and always behind their teams, and there's a reason why those teams are having success, because when you have people like this behind you, it's special. And but at the same, Kaunas is amazing, Panathinaikos is amazing. So EuroLeague is getting bigger, and it's special to play in all those cities and travel and Fenerbahce and FS. But here it's a different animal, like we say.
What would you be if you weren't a basketball player?
Probably a soccer player. I know it's a boring answer, but sports have been my life since I was young, and if I'm not playing basketball, I'm watching basketball, or I'm watching soccer, or I'm watching golf. You know, so sports is a big part of my life. But if it wasn't for that, I don't know. Something that has to do with being around people and you know, because I'm a social person, so it would have to be something where I'm meeting people every day.
Can we maybe see you after your career as a coach?
I get this question a lot. Even my wife asks me, you know. But I think at the moment, no, I don't think so. It's just not something that I'm really thinking about. But I wouldn't be surprised if I would at least try to see how it is, to see if there's something for me. But as a coach, you have to be thinking all the time, even when you're home. And as a player, it's sometimes better to be just playing, and when you go home, you can disconnect. So never say never, but at the moment, I don't think so.
What is your hobby? Something you do outside of basketball?
I love golf. I try to go as often as I can, but during the season it's hard. But in the summer I go a lot. I'm really into like fashion. I love, you know, clothes, shoes, all that kind of stuff. So that's another like hobby, I would say. What else? And then it's just my family, you know, seeing my two kids grow up, my two sons, and time is flying so fast. So enjoying them, I would say, is a hobby as well, I guess, you know. But my biggest ones is probably golf and soccer, I would say.
In your opinion, what is the key of success in basketball?
Ooh, the key is the mindset. I mean, you can have, you know, talent is one thing, size, strength. It's you know, okay. These are things you can work on, but the mindset is everything. Being mentally prepared every day for practice, for games, and then confidence is number 1, 2, and 3. If you don't have confidence, you can't play this game. And all the best players you see in the EuroLeague and the NBA, they just have such a high confidence. They feel like they can make shots from anywhere. And when you get into rhythm, when you get into that confidence level, you feel like nobody can stop you, and that's one of the best feelings in the world.
Poštovani gledalci, to je to što se tiče ovog izdanja iz SwishCasta. Martina, please you to look at this camera and sing something to our viewers at the end.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the talk. Big respect to you, you know, how are you, 14 years old? 14 years old doing this, that's huge respect, and I admire your work and your enthusiasm, and all the best. Thanks for watching, guys, and hvala, brate.